What's up guys and gals, and welcome back to another Division 2 build video. If you happen to be new to the channel or you're just enjoying the content, then be sure to ground and pound that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to reach up there, trigger the bell, and turn on post notifications. That way you never miss a live stream or a video that is uploaded. Well, I showed a glimpse of this build that I'm particularly working on, and I'm getting tons and tons of messaging on social media for me to do a complete build that I was using as more or less an example on the previous Berserk build as far as how it's supposed to be. Unlike some of these crackerjack so-called content creators on YouTube just putting content out there that's ass backwards and not really how the devs intended the talent to actually be used. So I'm going to show you its entirety. We're going to start out with the basic version first, and then I'm going to show you other variations as well, depending on your playstyle and your personal preference. So starting first, this is the basic version. 185 armor, 368k health, and of course we are using an LMG. Now, this is where it's going to get a little tricky. Depending on your aim, I know I have potato aim, but if you are such as like on PC or consistently hit a lot of headshots, then you want precise on your gloves. If you hit more body shots and have complete potato aim, much like mine, then you want it to go devastating on your gloves. But let's start with the main components first. First is the best Petrov backpack that I've been able to come across, and this is why it's kind of been delayed. Good Petrov pieces are hard and few to find, let me tell you. After crafting 50 or 60, this was the best that I could come up with. It only has 4% weapon damage, but it allowed me to roll 34,708 health on it. And with that 34,708 health, you definitely want, also along with it, Vital, plus 20% health. So all in all, could be better as far as the weapon damage wise, but it does have a good large health roll on it that I was able to put on it, and of course efficient and vital. Now on to the other main component, and it is a Fenris AB group chest piece. Not because we are utilizing an AR as our secondary, but more or less just because this particular Fenris and all Fenris chest pieces are able to have two talents on them. So in this case, you want Berserk and of course Vital. Now this particular Fenris I kind of got lucky on. I was able to put 47,891 health. It already had 8.5% weapon damage. And if I wanted to go full-blown Berserk before this whole skill thing came into play under Title Update 5, then the absolute god roll would have been, instead of that skill power, to have been a percentage base, and I actually had a chest piece that had 20.5% health on it that I could have stuck on here that would easily put me over 400k health. So the grind and search continues for that piece such as just like this one, except for skill power, that percentage health, and I'm hitting the 400k health marathon running. And of course it has an offensive mod slot in it. In this particular mod slot, we have 1% weapon damage and then 5% LMG damage for a total of 6%. So even though we only have 8.5% damage just on this chest piece alone. Now let's go on to the holster. It is a Heligard holster, 14.5% health, 29,265 health, and of course, Heligard is my favorite because, especially when it comes to holsters, and I'm pretty sure it's pretty much everybody's favorite because it's so versatile as far as you can have it in each and every slot. And should you be able to have it in each and every slot? I don't really necessarily think so, but until it changes, I'm glad that it is in particular slots, such as like the holster, because it has two offensive mod slots. And these mod slots, we have 0.5% weapon damage, and then 5% LMG damage, and 3% assault rifle damage. Now in the second slot, we have 1% weapon damage, and then 4% to an AR and LMG. So since we're using just the AR, that is another 10.5% weapon damage to my LMG. Sorry, I know I said AR, but I meant LMG. But another 10% weapon damage to my LMG here. We have 3 pieces of Heligard on, which is 5% total armor, 20% hazard protection, and of course 15% pulse skill power, and which is we'll get into in a moment. Now on to the knee pads. Now, in my opinion, you should have 2 kinds of knee pads on you. Both should have high health rolls as far as their attributes because you are utilizing Berserk. And Berserk, as always, and just like I went over in that previous video, you want health over armor. They both can take the same amount of damage. The only thing that affects them differently is the 2-piece True Patriot, or mods that have damage to armor on it, or likewise damage to health mods, or the built-in 29% damage to health on ARs. And there's a lot of fear-mongering out there. It's like, Berserk ain't what it used to be because of the Eagle Bearer. Even though you have a large health pool, that 29% damage to health, you're going to get shredded. Well, I haven't exactly come across anybody that could actually shred me, because I'm pretty decent up in PvP and know my surroundings and know how to play a build. I don't just strap on a build and expect to be a god. But, with Berserk, you have to actually play it and consistently play it so that way you know when to get in the fight, get out the fight, maneuver around, backpedal, find cover, heal up. And there's a lot of things that go hand in hand that will actually further my survivability, and we'll get to that in a moment. But don't be afraid. That's like saying, I'm not going to run skill builds because of the hazard protection that are out there that you can consistently stack, so it makes skill builds impossible when it comes to explosions, so I shouldn't run a skill build. So that's kind of the same philosophy as don't run Berserk because ARs have built-in damage to health. It's just ludicrous and a lot of fear-mongering. So pay no attention to those bots. But the two types of knee pads that you want to use is depending on your playstyle. If you're shooting more from cover, you want Patience. Because Patience states that after being in cover for 5 seconds, armor repairs by 5% every 1 second. And then, of course, you want Cloaked. So if you're up at the forefront of your squad, or you're constantly getting pushed by other agents in the dark zone, then you want to run Cloaked. Because of the current meta, either they have assault drones or they're doing figure eights in their chem piss pools, pretty much doing the chicken dance from Division 1 all over again. Quite ironic, actually, and funny. But Cloaked is when your armor is depleted, nearby enemy skills are disrupted for 10 seconds. Can occur once every 30. So since you want your armor popped anyways, it works really, really well with Berserk. They synergize well together because, in one, you want your armor popped, and two, since they are trying to utilize skills and dance around their pistols and they push upon you, they're not going to be able to do that with Cloaked. Well, at least for 10 seconds, and can occur every 30 seconds. And 10 seconds is an eternity when it comes to PvP. So once they're disrupted, it'll be easy to finish them off and mow them down with basically any build. But when your LMG is hitting harder than their Eagle by 10k, then yeah, they're not going to be able to stand and not going to try to face tank you by no means. But moving on, we have two mod slots, one with 8167 health, 808 armor regen, and then 1183 armor on kill. And then the second one, we have 9063 health, 5000 skill health, and then 503 armor regen. Now let's go on to the mask. 10% health, 104 health, and we have Spotter, which is not using at the moment. And then in this utility mod slot, it's just basically a filler because we are utilizing an LMG, so we're stacking on reload speed. But now let's go on to a different variation. Let's say you want a little armor shred, but you don't want to lose too much on your health pool. So let's strap on the two-piece True Patriot and see what that actually comes to. We're going to lose a little bit of health, but really not really that much. And if you have higher health rolls on your two-piece True Patriot, then they're going to reflect. But even still at 126k health, and then we actually have 10% LMG damage, 15,219 health on your gloves. And then this particular one only has 18,146 health. I think I can roll about 22,000 on there. So for about 4 more thousand, maybe if I just have the materials just to throw away, then, I'll put it at, that would make it almost 331k health. So it just depends on, what you want to do. But this 10% multiplicative damage that the two-piece True Patriot comes is going to help out, especially for those out there that are, I don't know what they're thinking. They just want to stack on as much armor as possible, and then they neglect any of their health pool. But once all their armor is gone, they have no survivability to retreat, to apply those armor kits or med kits or even their piss pools at their feet to try to regen their armor because they absolutely have no health. You at least want 80 to 100k health bare minimum on any build, and then stack on your armor. Because you take your armor and your health and combine them together, and that's where you get your toughness. Toughness was in Division 1, but they broke it down and split it in half in Division 2 to where you have armor and health. But they both can take the same amount of damage. Just a 2-piece True Patriot will affect armor and be multiplicative against it. Same way with that damage to health. And then they do have offensive mods as well. That'll give you damage to health or an additional damaged armor, as you see on the screen here. So if you want to break it down numbers-wise, 2% damage to armor since it is multiplicative, and let's say that 5% LMG damage is just additive, you can actually get a little bit more value from that 2% damage to armor against targets with armor, let me put that in there, then you would get just over a 5% additive damage bonus. So if you want to stack completely, damage to armor and all these offensive mod slots and do it that way, I don't exactly have the number of mods that I need to do that, so I just held off on it because I just wanted to show you the different variations. Now let's say you want to go with a pulse. Well, I'm decent when it comes to actually putting together and still having 300k health when it comes to putting together something with a pulse. I don't have the quite exact pieces, but as you can see, by doing that right there, 585, I know I don't have 7 to go unlock Berserk, but as you can see, I don't have 2 offensive mods in this holster down here, and that would bring me at 785 and still over 316k health. And then basically, if you want even more utility out of it, you can go with the likes of, some more skill power, the devastating here, and as you can see, it drops actually me a little bit below health. So instead of this 137 skill power, it's basically a waste. Then all I have to do is just roll off the assault rifle damage, put on LMG damage, or find, basically good. You can put LMG damage on it and have still, 14,313 health. And then I'm still, well over that 330k health. So it's basically however you want to do it. If you want to do it with a pulse, you prefer a pulse, then go with that way. If you want to do some armor shredding and use that multiplicative damage, then by all means do it that way as well. But you're still, even with my mediocre, crappy pieces, get well up into the high 330s. If you got better pieces, the 350s, 360s. And like I said, if I had that one chest piece with that percentage-based health on it, that puts me over 400k health. So basically 400k health, 187k toughness, that's a walking berserk tank just ready to, wreck everything in its path. And then as you can see, I still have 1,000 skill power, and that puts me at 125k on the chem launcher. But the base, as you can see, it dropped to 33.4, but that's due to the lack of devastating and these 2 mods on my actual piece itself. So let's switch back over and show you the actual character sheet here, shall we? And see, just those mods alone brought it back up to 35.5, missing out 5% devastating, and another 7% LMG damage on my gloves. But those have devastating. I'm still over 300k health. As you can see, I can still do spotter, but that puts me at 37.7. So let's go into the firing range and I'll show you a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm having lots of heartburn this morning, so I do apologize. So don't forget the damage to out of cover. So we'll just go on the normal purples. So that's without any berserk procced. 43.3. And then here's the clip to show you once berserk is procced, it is hitting for 52k as is.